Um, this is third day, but number for third day is big. I know many people have to travel, they have to work, but I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 people maybe sitting in the room. And I appreciate all of you who's in this room, that you have all the energy and the muscles to stay all 3 days, and now you are here in this day. But you're going to get the best part of it. So AMSTRO was formed as a society for the region. And the society role is not only conference. We did the conference is a starting point, but trust me and believe us, all of us on this point, that we need to work for our patients. We need to continuously working, and we have to deliver. We're just not going to talk. So for that, one of the very important step for us is to pledge or create some target for us. What do we want to do? What we need to do? So we have very thoughtfully created some points. We talk to the people who are radiation oncologists, who are medical physicists, who are radiation therapists, and others. We took the input from all the people that what are the necessity for our region that we should work on. And then we have to meet again after 1 year time. We'll meet again 1 year or whatever the decision of board. I cannot say confirm because we have to do the post meeting assessment and decide. When we meet next year, we have to come back. We pledge in this stage on 8th of February 2026 in Dubai. These are our pledge. How far we achieve, what we achieve. We may not achieve everything, but we have to start somewhere, and we have to work together for that. And nothing can be delivered without teamwork and team help and everybody's participation. So with this, I would like to request Professor Saiful Huq that he come and I see how brave he is, how much challenges he take on his shoulder. I'm not with you, you're by yourself. How much challenge you take himself. And then we come back after 1 year and we see where we reach. Wherever we reach, we'll come back to you. Okay, thank you very much and welcome, Professor Saiful Huq. All yours now.
Well, thank you, Dr. Nadeem. So, typically whenever we go to a meeting, we see that a lot of excitement at the meeting. We'll meet a lot of, people, talk a lot of things, and then you go home, everything we all have a second job. This is our volunteer work, right? Everybody's passionate to do this thing. So that's why we're able to do it. But we have a day job, we get paid by someone else. We got to do this, family, you know it, right? We all do this. That's why you all are here. But what happens typically is we always say that, the follow through is the most important thing. Everything that happens at a meeting, what are we going to do next time? And the accountability is also an important thing. You saw, we had a 2.5-day meeting, at the session that I moderated with all the CEOs and the presidents of the industries. And I was telling them, we'll hold you accountable. That was the message. But we'll actually try to hold them accountable. And one of the goals will be to try to come back next year or 2 years from today or 3 years, whatever we do, we have to have a follow-up as to see what we are doing and tell the members that, yeah, we want to do things. We just don't want to do the talking only. So with those in mind, one of the goals of this meeting was to really create some networking for the younger generation mostly. I have gotten gray, younger generation, and they're our future. They are the ones who talk about AI and everything. You ask me to talk about AI and stuff, I have to go, by the time my son picks it up, it's 20 times faster than I will pick it up, if I can at all, right? So one of our goals is also really to, help the younger generation go. And you may have noticed that almost every session, we had a senior person and a younger person, and it's an opportunity. I remember my younger days, if I could go to a stage as a chair or a co-chair, oh my God, that made my day. So, those are the things. There are a lot of small things that we thoughtfully created for this meeting by just looking at the future. And as Dr. Nadeem said, that, the leaders from around the world who came here, one of the goals was also to facilitate networking. When I remember my younger days when I was able to talk to somebody that I looked up to during lunchtime or a coffee break, talked with them, that was an inspiration for me. And that's something we wanted to create also for our, early generation, early career, the professionals. So through this networking, we have initiated some activities, and AMSTRO was also formed, and one of our board members, Dr. Al-Ghamdi, talked about our mission, vision, and stuff. So based upon a lot of those, we have come up with a few things that would like to be able to deliver next year. Some will be a little longer, short term, long term. And here are some ideas along that line. So the mission, as Dr. Al-Ghamdi showed yesterday, was to advance equitable, multidisciplinary, evidence-based, high-quality cancer care across Asia and the Middle East by strengthening therapeutic radiation oncology through education, research, clinical excellence, and health system innovation. AMSTRO fosters regional and global collaboration, addresses systemic barriers, and empowers professionals to transform cancer care for all. And the vision was to shape the future where resilient and patient-centered cancer care thrives across Asia and the Middle East, guided by innovation, regional leadership, and global collaboration. This mission and vision gave rise to 5 goals that we created for AMSTRO to guide us. And we have identified some action items for each of these goals. So that's why I'm going to read these goals for you so that we can follow. So build a unified regional network for collaboration, innovation, and advocacy. Number 2, strengthen oncology education and workforce capacity. Ensure equitable, high quality, and patient-centered cancer care across Asia and the Middle East. Foster innovation and elevate regional research in radiation oncology. And finally, strengthen leadership and governance for sustainable cancer care. So I'll go through each of these and maybe identify a few things. So for goal 1, so there are a few things we thought that we should be able to maybe accomplish by next year or maybe year after. And again, as Dr. Nadeem mentioned, we didn't have an opportunity to meet with our board yet. So we have to go, bring this to the board, and hopefully the board will approve all of that. So position AMSTRO as a trusted regional platform for convening oncology professionals and stakeholders across the Middle East and Asia. Strengthen engagement and mutual understanding with appropriate authorities, regional stakeholders, and global organizations. One reason for bringing all the decision makers or the presidents and so on from all the different societies like IAEA, ISTRO, ASTRO, UICC, you have seen all this, the top leaders from each of these societies, AAPM, MIFOM, GHC, and other national societies. So really, the goal was that AMSTRO, as we created as a platform, we can work with all the international bodies, recognize us. And I think we got a good start, from this meeting. Collaborate with the appropriate authorities to support national cancer control plans and promote coordination across the region. And there was somebody mentioned, I think, during the presentations, that almost every country has a national cancer control plan, but it's the follow through. That does not always happen for different reasons. And our goal will be to work with the appropriate bodies to see how we can help if they need some help, right? Establish an AMSTRO regional network framework connecting professional societies, major cancer centers and academic partners across participating countries. And there's a tremendous opportunities. There's so many in the region, the different centers. We want to connect with all of them. And that will really help flourish research, innovation, developing new treatment techniques and stuff. But we got to first establish connectivity with them. So that's something we want to do. And identify and formally recognize country focal points and regional champions to support coordination and communication. In other words, create a liaison so that there's a structured way so that we can all are communicating and talking to each other to see how we are, following up with all the different initiatives that we're going to take. Number 2, strengthen oncology education and workforce capacity. There's a lot of message about capacity building, right, at this meeting. So we want to launch an AMSTRO school as a regional platform for education and training. AMSTRO, sorry, did I say ASTRO? I had only a couple of hours of sleep last night. AMSTRO. Sorry, so we want to launch an AMSTRO school as a regional platform for education and training in radiation oncology, medical physics, and radiation therapy. Initiate pilot training of trainers, programs to support capacity building across radiation oncology, medical physics, and radiation therapy. Deliver hybrid and cloud-based learning programs, including webinars, short courses, and case discussions using the C4 platform. You heard me talk about the Comprehensive Cancer Center in the cloud, powered by AI. One of our goals is to really bring that platform here, and which will help us facilitate, connect all the different centers that we want to help come to the same level of professional expertise. An important thing is to map the key workforce gaps and training needs across radiation oncologists, medical physicists, and radiation therapists in participating countries. There are probably some data, I don't know, I'm still learning this region a lot. This is an important thing. We always have to first start with a needs assessment. We need to know what it is that we have currently. So we would like to do a study to find out where we are today, so that based upon that, once we know the needs, what we have, what are the needs, and what are the barriers, then we'll be able to come to solutions. So this will be a process, but we will get, our goal is to get it started. Third goal was ensure equitable, high quality, and patient-centered cancer care across Asia and the Middle East. You've heard about it, patient-centered. That's what we all are here for. Probably to me, the most impactful session at this meeting was on day 1, that patient voice session that we heard. So that's what we are here. So we gotta, we have to have different things, actions that we need to undertake to make this happen. One is promote shared approaches to quality assurance, guideline adaptation, and service delivery models that reflect local needs and resources. Support pilot activities that strengthen referral pathways, continuity of care, and quality improvement efforts across institutions. Encourage culturally sensitive, patient-centered care through education, professional dialogue, and knowledge exchange. Goal 4, foster innovation and elevate regional research in radiation oncology. Form a preparatory working group for a regional clinical research network to define scope, ethical considerations, and alignment with national regulations. We were just talking with somebody, Dr. Nadeem and I, as we came in here, somebody really excited to help us build a clinical trial infrastructure in this region. Dr. Catherine, and I don't know that you are here, she spent some time in the region, she's in Germany, and she's really passionate about trying to help to develop the clinical trial infrastructure. And we have some experience that we have done, developed clinical trial infrastructure in Africa. Actually, where we're currently doing clinical trial in multiple countries. So, we'll be working together with the local folks, and we'll be bringing some of our expertise from outside also to really get started with clinical trial. And this is important. This is important. The prostate clinical trial that we are doing in Africa, we are seeing data that is better than what was seen in Europe. And we expect that. All the NCCN guidelines that we follow, these were done by a very small segment population. But all the genetics, for the African population or Asian populations are very different from the genetics of, say, if you look at the Western population. So we expect those differences. And that's why it's so important to have this data so that you can do the prescriptions according to the biology, the genetics and all of that. So that's something that will be a very important thing, for us to really get started. And I hope that, this is where we'll need everybody's support, everybody's collaboration. There's an important one there. So establish an AMSTRO journal working group to assess editorial scope, governance models, partnerships, options, and feasibility with the goal of informing a future launch. That's a one-year goal. And subject to feasibility and partnership, advance towards the launch of an AMSTRO journal as a regional platform for scholarly exchange, early career researcher development, dissemination of regional evidence. We look at red journal, we look at green journal. How come we don't have a blue journal or an orange journal or a purple journal for this region? It's time. It's time that we get this started. So we had a lot of discussion last night with a few of the team members. What kind of time frame do we? Because if we're not going to do it, we have to do it, right? How do we commit ourselves? So we're very careful about choosing the words. That's why there's a one-year goal and a three-year goal, but we'll do it. We'll do it, and with your support. There has to be a journal for this region. And the strengthen leadership and governance for sustainable cancer care. Cultivate leadership and professional development opportunities for early and mid-career radiation oncologists, physicists, and therapists. This is so important. I have a lot of residents, when I teach them, I said, you'll be treating me if I get cancer. So I better train you well for my personal, but the idea is they're the future. And they're growing up with technologies and stuff that I didn't grow up with. They learn differently. They're growing up with AI. AI is their buzzword, and we grew up differently. So you have to develop the, help, work with these early career professionals to really pave the path for them so that, they're the next leaders. And we have to recognize that. And I know I've traveled extensively globally. The cultures are very different. And we all, I should not say we all, there's a tendency among many of us not to really let go. I'll be very blunt. Let go. I'm the professor. I know it all. And then somebody who is a younger junior consultant and junior physician, oh, you want to do IMRT? Right? And I'm the professor, I'm making the decision. I don't know anything about IMRT, but I'm not letting that junior consultant to do IMRT. I've seen that, honestly. So we are holding progress, and it's our responsibility, those of us who are, who have gray hair and stuff, really facilitate the pathway for these early career professionals. And I beg you, I urge all of you, those who are gray hair, or bald hair, or whatever, however you look at it, please, please help our early career professionals to get to them. And that will be our legacy. and promote youth engagement and early career leadership across education, research, and innovation initiatives. So these are some of the goals we have set for ourselves. And I do not know how much we will accomplish, but we'll come back in 1 year and tell you what we have done at the next AMSTRO meeting. And I'm happy to say that there are already some collaboration that has already started at this meeting. And I will count this towards our accomplishment next year. So with AMSTRO, we met with the president of AMSTRO yesterday, and we agreed that between AMSTRO and AMSTRO, there will be an MOU. And that MOU will highlight as to what it is that we want to accomplish. We'll be developing training programs for RTTs. What is Zahida Mullah? There you are. Thank you very much for your leadership. She is an incredible the leader. Let's give her a round of applause for what she has done. In about a week, suddenly the AMSTRO, we have a web, the WhatsApp group, hundreds of them all responding. It's an amazing thing. I mean, the kind of leader that she is, if there are a few leaders like that, I mean, it's just an incredible work that you have done. Thank you for what you have done. But we have commitment from AMSTRO president that's the first thing we'll do. It's an online training program for the RTTs. And so we'll explore development for online courses. The AMSTRO courses are expensive. We had the discussion with the AMSTRO president, Matthias Gockenberger, Dr. Matthias Gockenberger. And so there are challenges, in everything. Money is involved and stuff whenever you want to do something new. And trying to do, we told him, our two colleagues, Fatima and Yumna, I know Dr. Nadeem will be giving the credit for what you have done. I tell you, if these two ladies were not there, we will not be sitting here. You talk about, let's give a round of applause, really loud. Everything that has happened that you see here today, it's there people in the back. They are radiation oncologists, their family, and I am in the US, they're in Pakistan. AMSTRO doesn't sleep. That was our slogan. Somebody is always working, and they're seeing patients, and then they're taking care of family, kids are sick, but AMSTRO will continue. And it's the kind of leaders that we want, the passion. We need to promote folks like them. If we promote them, then our discipline will really be there at a pace that we could never think of. So the online courses, as we wanted to do, there could be how quickly we'll be able to implement that. That's a discussion we'll need to have. We told them, look, do not get visa. The hotel, we go to, pay for the one-night hotel. That's the salary of a person for a whole month, right? And the membership fees. So we discussed a lot of these things. But our hope and goal is that we'll be able to address this problem. And he was very, very supportive. I mean, that's the important thing. Another one, I see Dr. Rabia Hamud is here, and president of MIFARM, Hassan Kareta. We had a conversation with them, and we actually signed an MOU with them. But please don't count it that, we're not count it to our 1 year accomplishment, right? So there are a lot of, MIFARM is the largest organization in the Middle Eastern region. And the physicists, we are the physician, the physicists, we all work together, right? And we all wear different hats. We are the czar for quality control, development, technology, and all of that, right? So we, in order to really move forward, there needs to be a healthy relationship between MIFARM and AMSTRO. And I really appreciate, on behalf of our board of directors, for Rabia and Dr. Kareta, what you have done, went out of your way to make this happen. Let's give them really a round of applause. The MIFARM leadership. Global Health Catalyst. Will, are you here? Okay, there is probably outside. So Global Health Catalyst is an organization that was formed, Will and Gua, he started when he was at Harvard about 10 years ago. And we just celebrated 10 years anniversary of this. And this organization is actually global. And that I mentioned to you doing clinical trials in Africa. We have activities, you name it, anything and everything. We do everything globally, education, training, and clinical trial. So one of our goals was to really establish a clinical trial with a MOU with GHC so that we can bring a lot of those stuff here. As we were sitting outside before coming here to Dr. Nadeem, we already, I'm also a co-director of the clinical, the GHC. There are 5 of us in there. And you saw in my presentation, the last slide was there, all the musketeers there. So we have signed an MOU last night also with GHC. AAPM, our president-elect is here. Sid, I tell you that one of the benefits of bringing all the leaders from an organization is the action that happens when you're drinking tea or at the sidebar. That's when things happen. And yesterday I started to talk with Andrew and I said, what can we do? Is there something that we can announce? He was under the pressure. So he called all the people there and they came up with some of the ideas. And these are all his ideas. They develop an MOU between AMSTRO and AAPM. I know I was the president of AAPM in 2020. He cannot just make the call. There's a process, it has to be approved by the board and all of that. But Andrew came forward that, we'll develop an MOU. And AAPM has an international council. I started that when I was the president of AAPM in 2020. And so there are different structures within the international council. So they have invited AMSTRO to the International Roundtable All Medical Physics Organization. We'll be working together on capacity building. That was the theme of our discussions for 2.5 days. So, and they're also encouraging us, the medical physics PhD students and their mentors, to partner with AAPM mentors and students to promote most advanced research. So, you have students here, right, who wants to do a PhD. Sometimes I know if people from Africa reach out to me, can you be my mentor, right? And I do not always want to take, because when you take a PhD student, it's a commitment. It's a commitment that is more important than anything else. But here is an opportunity. I know the current chair of the International Council. He is very big on this kind of initiative. So if you have students here who wants to do master's or a PhD and looking for mentors, here is an opportunity, to do that. Let's give Dr. Andrew Medman a warm round of applause for coming through. And I tell you, these are just the beginning. You got to get started somewhere. Once you get started, it's like planting a seed. And once a tree grows, then it starts to flourish, right? So we have started to do that. Not thank you yet. I have one more thing. So let me see if I can find out. Let's see. Okay. So you also have seen that, the executive vice president and chief medical officer of ASCO, she was here. She gave a presentation yesterday. And one of our goals was to really start to look into the medical oncology situation in the region. And can we develop also something, a collaboration with ASCO? And then so Dr. Sundas and Dr. Murad, Dr. Sundas, you're at Tawam, and Dr. Murad at GI Gulf International, they spent a lot of time together to develop some projects, some ideas, so that we can talk with Dr. Julie Grallo to see whether we can do something. And outcome that came out is a wonderful in the proposal and this was fresh off the boat, as they said. Dr. Sundas was talking with Dr. Gralo last night, this morning, and this is a statement that I have, that they felt comfortable to start the collaboration. As discussed with Dr. Julie Gralo, AMSTRO is pleased to announce of the opportunity for development of a framework tools for standardizing oncology care within Emirates. With the support of ASCO, with Dr. Julie Gralo and team, preliminary discussions have started. The pilot project details will be shared on AMSTRO platform soon. Thank you very much for leading this effort. Let's give both of them a round of applause. So you see, we have already gotten some things done, and we'll count this as our bonus for next year when we come back, that what we have accomplished. And so I would ask all of you to really work with AMSTRO leadership and really help make these things happen. With that, I'll ask, he will not say anything about himself. I know Dr. Nadeem. It will not be right for me to leave this stage without saying a few words about him. This meeting wouldn't have happened were it not for the dedicated, my God, I've known this man for probably about 2 years. It was an accidental. I came to Oman where Dr. Rabia invited me to give an invited talk, and that's when I met him. And since then, we formed a very close friendship very quickly, because it seems like we think the same way, we both are passionate about the same things. And then when he started to talk about forming this AMSTRO, and I'm passionate about it. This is what I've been doing for 25 years globally. It didn't take me twice to think. He asked me, what do you think of this? So since then, I don't know whether I have seen him sleep. There are times, I'll have to tell you this. There is a 9-hour separation between the two of us. I'm in US and he is here. So at about 11 o'clock at nighttime, my time, he wakes up. And he has a 2-hour drive from his home, LA, to his work. He's in the car, and we're talking. So I'm 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We're talking about this meeting. And then I go to sleep. I wake up at 7 o'clock. It's later in the afternoon, his time. So I get up and I start to talk. So we used to say that AMSTRO does not sleep. And I thought that we are not sleeping. Those two ladies there, Dr. Fatma and Yumna, they're worse than us. So Dr. Nadeem, what I have seen you, really, he's like a butterfly. Everybody, he's like a magnet. Everybody gets attracted towards him. I cannot pull him away. Something is, we got to go there. The meeting is starting or somebody is waiting and all of that. So thank you so much. Without you, this thing would not have happened. Really. We need to recognize where, who the leaders are. And we have a board of directors who have been very supportive of what we do. Every initiative that we have undertaken, they've been extremely supportive. And everything has to go through the board of directors, right? Those of us who do these things, there has to be approval and stuff. Let's give a round of applause to our board of directors, please. And the gold medal that you surprisingly gave to me yesterday, that really belongs to you. So with that, I want to invite you to please come to the podium and say, just do the closing of this meeting.
Do I have any words to say afterwards? Saiful said. He said everything. And actually, few words I would reiterate, AMSTRO doesn't sleep. And that was real true. And otherwise, 5 months back when we born and we are standing here and we are here for a cause. I want to tell that if I'm working for our mission. This is like all of us as our mission. No need any acknowledgement. I know Saiful don't need as well. But this is our work, all of us. So all I would request all of you, join us, because uniting together is the power. We are very fragmented. If we can finish the fragment, we can put our energy in the right direction, which is fighting the cancer. So that's my request to all of you in this room. Now, I do sometimes spontaneous, like yesterday, I give gold medal to Saiful Huq with the permission of executives, not only me. So I have the blessing, and he deserved. If I would have 10 gold medals, would request board to give to him. He really did the job. If you see this program, if you see the meeting, 80% of him, we are only 20%. And this is very honest opinion, not just because praising him. We cannot be here where we are. And you mentioned all of the people who actually really did the work behind the scene. They're no more secret any. They're all exposed, So they all people know who's doing what. Our board members, Abdulaziz Ghamdi head, Mullah Hussain, Isa Muhammad, Thuraya have to go back to the work. They actually, all of us carried help. There are more people actually, I'm not naming, but they are government, Sehab, lots of people. It's not just one day work, Dr. Abdul Rahman is there, Dr. Khalid Balaraj is here this time. It's like I cannot name everyone, the people who are working, but I want to do something as spontaneous, a little bit different out of the program. I want to call a person on this stage who's not even an oncologist, but he did a lot of work for us. And I would request for that that if Hossein Al-Kushi in the room as president and Saiful Huq to come back on the stage and give him the certificate. So please, president and vice president of AMSTRO, come to the stage. And that person name is Ahmad Al-Najjar. So imagine he's a fresh engineering graduate, and I don't know how we met him accidentally. And that meeting, since then, I was feeling, who is AMSTRO? I start feeling that really I'm AMSTRO. Dr. Abdul Ghamdi give us a name. We are AMSTRO, right? So with that, we have to. Yes, 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 okay. So now I'm doubtful. Cannot be only oncologist. Can be anyone. Yeah, no, it's okay. But now I can close it. Thank you. So I think I wouldn't take long time. There is a summit, which will be oncology summit. The buses will go from here. They will take you to the hotel, and from the hotel, you can go to the summit. If you're going to airport, they can drop you to the airport, or you can come back to your hotel. So transport will be provided. Encourage whoever interested in to go to summit can join now. You don't have to sign off or anything for that. And this is the beginning. I'm not closing the meeting. I'm actually opening AMSTRO work. And what we need, and I request you all, please come, join hands together, we work together. So we're starting a new era. We'll come back in here. Yes. And then, so I already, Dr. Lathmullah and raised his hand, so you want to say something? Okay.
Just to say, we are in United Arab Emirates. We need to be united all together against cancer. All the professions of radiation oncology, medical physicists, radiation therapy need to be united toward one goal. AMSTRO hopefully will help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We pledge that we will do that. Prof. Saiful Huq mentioned. So with these, actually, so we're not closing, we're closing the conference, we are opening, we'll meet again, we'll then come back to pledge. I did not do any pledges from Prof. Saiful Huq. Please ask him. He make the responsible, the industry people, he will ask them responsible, we'll make responsible him for the AMSTRO. And thank you everyone for all the help, all of our sponsors who help us to come to this level. Thank you. And in the name of Allah, I close this meeting. Thank you.